what I'd like to know is, would you say this dichotomy between just focusing for the moment on those two archetypes, the artist and entrepreneur, would you say this is like a modern day thing? Is this something that's only now kind of arising in this modern culture? Or do you see that it's something kind of more ancient and human?
I think it's I think this is old. Yeah, I don't think this is a new dynamic, but I think it's never been this exacerbated. Um, but I don't think collapse and posturing are new. I think that's been with humans forever. And in a functional culture, it's less prone. But I think humans have probably always been born prone one way or the other. And if you have a functioning culture that affirms your fundamental worthiness in a million and myriad ways as you grow up, then the you tend to be more composed. And that could be its own whole conversation of what are all the ways that culture sets you up to be composed so you don't need to posture or collapse in order to get your needs met. But in modern society, of course, the fabric of any sort of village or clan or culture that might do that job, that's gone. And it's being replaced with AI and, virtual everything. So, we're in rough shape. But then the artist and the entrepreneur, I think that's old too. I tend to look at entrepreneurs as the modern day hunters or gatherers. They're the ones who are feeding the tribe. They're the ones who are taking care of the needs of provision. They're the problem solvers. It is a kind of energy, and my guess is certain people are born with it and some aren't. It's I think there are some people who functionally can be entrepreneurs and some who just can't. Some are not built that way. That archetype is just way too weak in them. And it's no shame at all. It's just that's probably how it is. And then the artist, that creative impulse, there's some people that just have more of this eye for making beauty than others. And I think that's probably always been true. It's in various tribes, when kids would be born. I think the elders were looking at the kids uh, to think, what role is this child going to play? What gifts do they have to bring? And some of them are just probably more naturally going to be hunters. Some of them are more naturally going to be beauty makers, and you want people to play to their strengths. And of course, there's more than those two roles, certainly. But so I think it's old, but one, at the level of the artist, we've become so deeply confused about beauty uh, in modern society. Beauty has become besmirched. It's become synonymous with vanity, so that whenever you hear stories about Sleeping Beauty or these folk tales about the beautiful princess, instead of it filling us with delight that that kind of beauty exists in the world, women in particular are filled with a kind of anger that is completely understandable given the insane beauty standards of our time and the pressure that women are put under and unarticulated expectations and obligations, and just all the ways that beauty and the beauty industry and the synthetic approach to beauty has been used to hurt women in particular. And so you've got that on one side. And then with this entrepreneur, this instinct for solving problems and provision, which is a very beautiful human instinct, has then been conflated, as I said at the beginning, with this kind of globalized, monocultured, um, faceless corporate lunge towards unending profits, this hungry ghost. And so on both sides, there's a very wounded relationship with those archetypes. We want to avoid the artist thing because the beauty just seems like vanity, and we want to avoid the entrepreneur because that just seems like self-seeking, profiteering. So then, if you get that plus the wounded psyche that leaves us either in posturing or collapsing, you see what I'm saying? Then it doesn't matter what tactic you go for. If you're in those quadrants, you could go to all the best marketing workshops. You could learn tactics that really do work, and they just won't work for you because none of these tactics work if you're collapsing or posturing. They're all hamstrung by that energy because those two energies are fundamentally repulsive to people. Um, but the challenges for I think you're in my people, they look at collapse as more noble because, well, you see, the posturing is the inauthentic thing, but I'm really nice. And it's like, oh, so nice guys are honest and never manipulative, and the good girl is an appealing energy to the world. This lands as somebody you want to entrust with things, but that's the what we've come to, and those energies don't work. The collapsed energy is just as repulsive to people as the posturing is. So nothing in those quadrants work, and then so people get lost at that level of, well, what's the strategy? What's the tactic?